going to hunt you down. He's going to find out what's going on. And that's good. That's good for everybody. That's how you should be looking at this. Like, wow, we have a brilliant mind.
You know, when you're a certain age, you use words that you know from when you were a kid or you remember saying, and that's what I did today. I should have thought about it a little longer before I said it, but I didn't. And I should have said cheated, and I used another word, and I'm really, really sorry.
Welcome back to Pop Flash, where the drama never stops. If you've been anywhere near the internet today, you know it's absolutely buzzing with a jaw-dropping story that's got everyone talking. Yes, you guessed it. The one and only Joe Rogan has taken some serious shots at Whoopi Goldberg, and it's not pretty. The internet is on fire, folks, after Rogan ruthlessly mocked Goldberg's emotional breakdown in the courtroom. And according to rumors, this wasn't just a harmless joke or a lighthearted jab. Oh no, this was a brutal roasting that left people stunned. Now, let's break this down because it's juicy. Whoopi Goldberg, who has been a staple on The View for years.
Women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason
recently found herself caught up in a massive legal mess that's only getting messier by the day. The drama reached its peak during a courtroom appearance that's got everyone talking, and it wasn't for any good reason. Sources say the courtroom drama was so intense that Whoopi broke down in tears. Imagine that. One of Hollywood's most iconic stars, reduced to tears in front of a judge, no less. The poor woman was completely shaken, her emotions all over the place as she tried to navigate the legal storm that's been brewing for a while now. But here's the twist. While Whoopi was breaking down, Joe Rogan was doing what Joe Rogan does best, throwing shade and calling people out. And he didn't hold back. It's no secret that Rogan has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind, and this situation, it's the perfect fuel for his fire. Rumors say Rogan was ruthless, and the words he used to describe Whoopi's emotional courtroom moment are making waves across the internet. Trust me, if you haven't heard what he said, you're about to. The podcast king wasted absolutely no time in jumping into the spotlight and taking some serious shots at Whoopi. And let's just say, he's not holding back any punches. But wait, it gets even juicier. The way Rogan reacted to the entire situation has got people divided. Some are totally backing him, loving the way he doesn't sugarcoat anything and calls out what he sees. Others, though, are outraged, saying Rogan went too far with his comments. This is the kind of drama that divides the masses and keeps us coming back for more. It's like a train wreck you just can't look away from. As the legal drama unfolds and Whoopi's situation grows more intense, the world of celebrity gossip is watching closely. Who's right in all this? Who's wrong? And what will happen next in this ongoing saga? According to rumors, Whoopi Goldberg's legal battle has become a massive talking point. It all started with some controversial comments she made that were met with intense backlash, the kind of comments that could leave anyone in hot water. And the courts? Well, they're not showing any mercy, not even for a star of Whoopi's stature. The situation has escalated quickly, with no signs of it calming down. Insiders close to the case say that the courtroom atmosphere was nothing short of intense. Picture this: lawyers frantically scribbling notes, the press snapping photos, and the entire room buzzing with anticipation as the tension thickened. Everyone knew this wasn't going to be a run-of-the-mill case. Whoopi, the veteran actress known for her larger-than-life personality, was apparently feeling the heat more than ever before. And when the reality of the situation hit her, she couldn't hold it together any longer. According to multiple reports, Whoopi broke down right there in the courtroom. She wasn't just a little teary-eyed. It was a full-on emotional meltdown. Tears streamed down her face as the weight of everything seemed to crush her in that moment. The courtroom, already full of nervous energy, was stunned. Witnesses say Whoopi's reaction was completely unexpected, a far cry from the cool, collected image she usually projects on TV and in public. And let's not forget about her legal team. They were already in over their heads trying to manage the case, and then Whoopi's breakdown made things even more chaotic. According to insiders, her lawyers were scrambling, trying to calm her down, whispering words of reassurance, but it seemed like nothing could pull her back from the emotional brink. Her breakdown became the talk of the courtroom, and not in a good way. The whole scene was described as utterly chaotic, with Whoopi visibly shaken, unable to regain her composure. It was a raw, unfiltered moment that left the room in shock, and you could feel the heaviness of the moment in the air. Now, enter Joe Rogan. The man doesn't mince words. And he sure didn't hold back when it came to Whoopi's courtroom drama. On his podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan addressed the situation with the brutal honesty he's known for. As soon as he heard about the emotional breakdown, he wasted no time in sharing his thoughts. And let me tell you, he did not hold back. According to rumors, Rogan's response was as harsh as it gets. He mocked the entire situation, laughing off Whoopi's tears as nothing more than Hollywood theatrics. That's right, Rogan didn't show an ounce of sympathy for the actress, and he wasted no time calling her out. In his eyes, Whoopi was just another celebrity playing the victim card, and he made it clear that this emotional outburst was nothing new. For Rogan, this was just part of the show, a classic case of a Hollywood star trying to manipulate the situation to gain sympathy. His words? Well, they cut straight through the noise. This is what celebrities do when they get in trouble. They make a scene, cry, and try to turn it into a sob story. According to Rogan, this was all part of the act. A predictable move by a seasoned Hollywood star who knew exactly how to play the game when the stakes were high. But here's the kicker. This isn't just about one emotional breakdown in a courtroom. This is part of a larger pattern, and people are starting to notice. Celebrities like Whoopi, who have enjoyed years of fame and adoration, have become accustomed to being treated like royalty. But when things go wrong, well, according to Joe Rogan, they fall back on these emotional spectacles to get the sympathy they need to turn things around. It's all part of the game, and Rogan is calling it out for what it really is. So, who's right in this drama? Is Rogan being too harsh, or is he just exposing the truth about how Hollywood celebrities manipulate situations for their own gain? One thing's for sure, this has become one of the most talked about moments of the year, and as always, Joe Rogan's unfiltered take is sparking debates everywhere. The courtroom drama is far from over, and with people like Rogan weighing in, it's only going to get messier from here. Sources are now confirming that Joe didn't just stop at mocking Whoopi's emotional breakdown, he went after her with full force. It wasn't just a quick jab here and there. He dove deep into Whoopi's past, digging up every single controversial statement she's ever made. He didn't hesitate to point out the double standards, calling out the hypocrisy that's been bubbling under the surface for years. The question on everyone's mind right now is, how can Whoopi get away with her outrage when she herself has made countless problematic comments over the years? Joe wasn't about to let this slide, and he made sure to call it out loud and clear. His words were sharp, cutting through the narrative that Whoopi has carefully built around her public image. And the reaction from his audience, it was nothing short of electric. People couldn't get enough of it. It's clear now that Joe Rogan was on a mission to make Whoopi pay for her public displays of outrage. With every passing word, he unraveled the layers of Whoopi's image, revealing the hypocrisy that many had been questioning for years. He wasn't just taking cheap shots. Joe hit where it hurt the most, making it impossible for people to ignore the long history of double standards in Hollywood. How could someone like Whoopi get away with saying whatever she wanted while others would be crucified for the same offenses? The more Joe spoke, the louder the applause grew from his fans, who were hungry for a celebrity that wasn't afraid to speak the truth. The power shift was palpable, the tables were turning, and the audience was loving every minute of it. The backlash against Whoopi was immediate and swift. Her tearful courtroom breakdown only seemed to fuel the fire, with social media erupting in a frenzy of opinions. The emotional display didn't earn her any sympathy from the public. Instead, it felt like another chapter in a long story of celebrity privilege. And it gets worse. Way worse, for Whoopi. Insiders have now revealed that major sponsors, including high-profile brands, are quietly distancing themselves from her in the wake of this scandal. According to the latest reports, these companies are terrified of the backlash they might face if they continue to associate with her. The fear is real. Whoopi's once solid brand is now looking more and more fragile as the controversy escalates. Could this be the beginning of the end for her career? Some insiders believe it's only a matter of time before the fallout from this mess leaves her with few options left. And it's not just Whoopi's sponsors who are backing off. Sources say that even networks and production companies that once had a strong relationship with her are starting to rethink their ties. The future of Whoopi's career is looking uncertain, and every move she makes is now under intense scrutiny. Industry insiders claim that her public breakdown could very well mark a turning point for her, one that she may not be able to recover from. It's clear that Whoopi's emotional display, once intended to garner sympathy, has only deepened the public's distrust and raised new questions about her authenticity. Was it a calculated attempt to save face, or was it a genuine moment of vulnerability? Either way, it's not playing out well for Whoopi, and every new revelation seems to make things worse. Meanwhile, Joe Rogan's supporters are rallying behind him, calling his unflinching criticism a much-needed reality check for the Hollywood elite. They believe that his take-no-prisoners approach is exactly what the industry needs right now, pointing out that celebrities like Whoopi shouldn't be treated as above reproach. The message is loud and clear. Just because you're a public figure doesn't mean you get to avoid accountability. Joe is adamant that celebrities need to be held to the same standards as everyone else, and he's not backing down. His comments on the matter were blunt, unapologetic, and laser-focused on what many see as Hollywood's obsession with protecting its own. With Joe's rise in popularity, his fearless approach to exposing hypocrisy is resonating with a large segment of the population, and it's clear that this isn't just a passing trend. Joe Rogan is now the voice calling out the hidden truths behind the glitz and glam of the celebrity world. And with Whoopi's courtroom drama continuing to grab headlines, there's no denying it. This story is far from over. In fact, it's only heating up. And it looks like Whoopi may have a much bigger battle on her hands than she ever anticipated. The whispers in the industry are only growing louder, with insiders claiming that this is just the tip of the iceberg. Whoopi might find herself battling not just public opinion, but a full-scale PR crisis that could end up damaging her career beyond repair. It's a war of words, a fight for survival in the unforgiving world of Hollywood, and it's clear that only the toughest will make it out on top. Will Whoopi be able to recover from this mess, or will Joe Rogan's relentless takedown be the final blow in her public downfall? Stay tuned, because the drama is only just beginning, and the stakes have never been higher. Social media is absolutely divided right now, and the tension is palpable. Some of Whoopi's fans are rallying behind her, claiming that she's being unfairly targeted and painted as the villain in this whole debacle. They argue that what happened in the courtroom is being blown out of proportion, and Whoopi is the victim of an attack on her reputation. But on the flip side, there's an army of people siding with Joe Rogan, saying he's just calling out what everyone has been thinking for years. Hollywood stars, they argue, always expect special treatment and can't handle it when they finally face real consequences. The debate, it's exploding. Everyone has an opinion, and the internet is at war, trying to figure out who's in the right, and the noise is getting louder by the minute. But what about Whoopi's response to Joe Rogan's savage takedown? According to whispers from insiders, she is absolutely furious. Word on the street is that she feels completely betrayed by the industry she's been a part of for so long. She can't believe that someone like Rogan would publicly drag her through the mud like this. It's all too much. And she's reportedly convinced that the world is unfairly judging her, as if no one ever makes mistakes. But let's be real, Joe Rogan isn't the type to back down, especially when he believes he's exposing a truth that everyone else is too afraid to touch. If anything, he's doubling down on his position, making it crystal clear that he won't sugarcoat the reality of the situation for anyone, especially not for Whoopi Goldberg.